That's right everyone, this is the third installment of my rant about RollerCoaster Tycoon World, covering the newest updates since my last video on the updates about this game. I know some people have a negative reaction to my videos because of my level of criticalness about the company and what they're doing about managing this game, but fortunately this time it won't be as bad as my previous videos, because these new blogs could actually give us a positive light, hopefully. This will gain some progress how my prediction about the game will be false, which is a good thing, because a game like this doesn't deserve to fail. We've waited too long and this wait shouldn't be in vain. All responsibility goes to the developers and especially Atari themselves. We're going to cover 3 blogs here, blogs 8 to 10, all released after my last video was made. Unfortunately, all 3 blogs don't reveal the name of the new development team, so it's out of the question. So basically, blog 8 just says, "We will release some more screenshots in later blogs. The new team had a major advancement with the game. The quality of the coaster builder has been upgraded and the testers had a very positive and easy experience with the new tool. We are still working on this utility as well as the physics, path systems, and more." Okay, I like how they say they are spending time upgrading the coaster track builder as well as everything else, so players could have a wider amount of freedom and flexibility, which wasn't possible in the previous games. Now when they say path systems, they're either talking about the roller coaster track path and or the floor paths. I hope it's both. Then they say, "We will be recycling some sounds from the old games as requested in our forums, as well as more key elements from past games, new special effects, and more." Now this is something I like to see. Having some features found in old games is something I like because when I first played RollerCoaster Tycoon 3, I was very disappointed to hear the same 2 sound effects for all the track rides. So this time, as they say in this blog, they will add more variety to everything in the game. However, this blog could have been great if they just added a sound clip, that way it would have some credibility. Then at the end they say that the coaster in the teaser screenshots were a hyper coaster. To me that was a bit difficult to guess because the B&M style track design was present, so it looked more like a hyper twister coaster. But then again the front of the coaster wasn't present either, so in all honesty it mostly looked like a floorless coaster, which also uses the B&M track design. However, let's get on to blog 9. First paragraph. Team has finished the coaster builder upgrades. Soon we will see how users handle it and what they will build. Second paragraph. Path systems in progress. Won't get too detailed, but starting progress looks good. Things not present in previous games are now possible. This and the coaster physics are the main focus. They will do terrain and queue lines later. Okay, now this gives a bit of a hint that they are talking about the floor paths because they mention the queue lines. Wording hints how they separate the paths from the coasters, so this is another promise telling the gamers what to expect in the game, so it seems good so far. The third paragraph basically says that they're also going to increase the number of guest actions and interactivity, so that's definitely a plus. Now we get to the final paragraph followed by the screenshot featured in this blog. Before we look at the screenshot, let's look at the notification. Colors are a bit different as this is a night shot. Now let's look at the picture. We're not sure if this really is in-game or rendering, but let's analyze it. Alright, now the coaster track itself looks good, but the train looks rather unfinished. I hope they're still working on modeling, texturing, and detailing the coaster train as what they have been saying about currently working on other things. Just to see a challenge of what Atari and the new development team has to make, let's again bring up an example by showing a screenshot. These are the coaster trains from Theme Park Studio. They have to make their trains look better than this. Now that that's all said and done, let's go to their latest blog, blog number 10. This blog also has a few screenshots, but not as good as what the previous blog had. We'll get to those later. There are 3 main paragraphs here. The first one basically says, "The team has been working hard on everything. We're happy to see the progress. It's integration week, blah blah blah, more exciting progress," which is getting a bit repetitive. Paragraph 2 says, "We have new screenshots of the control booth. Adding operator soon. Hope you like it." And finally, paragraph 3 says, "Atari will be at E3, won't be showing any gameplay, but we will talk about updates and announce the state of RollerCoaster Tycoon World publicly at E3. See you in the forums. Until then, thanks for the feedback. Check our real world parks and rides forums." Now, they best hope they don't get boos from the audience if they don't show any content. However, announcing it should be good enough since most of the public who knows about the game were discussing about the poorly made trailer. About the forum, you guys may think it's about real parks and rides being in the game like RollerCoaster Tycoon 2, but it's just talking about real parks and rides and nothing to do with the game itself, unfortunately. And yes, I did see the link for myself. And now here are the screenshots that they were talking about. These are the two angles of the control booth they released. You know, it doesn't look bad, but in all honesty, I hope that they are not finished with the control booth. I hope I'm able to customize the colors of the booth. This concludes my third installment about the newest updates about RollerCoaster Tycoon World. All in all, I give this an average score. The updates were not bad, but not amazing either. I mean, it's good that they're communicating with the fans, giving updates and showing some content, but the thing is that there's not enough to show us. I mean, it would be great if they showed us like 3 screenshots per blog, right? Like a little screen cap of the new path system without anything else or something. But the best we have here is that Atari is making some promises that they shouldn't break, because all that they are saying is what we should expect to see in the next game. The advanced coaster track builder, advanced path system, and everything else they've said so far. And as I've said, these blogs are better than the last ones, but not by a whole lot. Oh, and by the way guys, the release date has changed. It no longer says mid-2015, it now simply says 2015, because a low-budget company like Atari really can't have an accurate prediction of the release date for a game that is still in the early stages of development. So this time the latest they can go is the last day of December for this year, so that's really a bummer. They didn't even say that they are delaying the game from the summer anywhere in the 3 blogs. Before I end this video, I would like to give my recommendations of features that they should include in the next game, and I actually dreamed about this. Instead of having a limited color palette, there should be an unlimited palette like the RGB window from Photoshop or Microsoft Paint. I also dreamed that the basic entertainers would be able to have the same freedom of customized colors. Lastly, and this is an advanced feature but it is very interesting for them to include it, coaster train decals. I want to decorate my roller coaster with hot rod flames and cool logos and stuff. If that feature isn't in there, then I'm going to fret a bit. Well, that is it for my third installment. I hope Atari has a good impact for E3 with this game. This is Darkstar Archangel, and I hope Atari, this game, and all of you people have an extraordinary, successful future.